watching the 10th episode of the Pinfall with Danny Bell, featuring Griffith, Chris Sojka, Chris Pajdzik, and Josh Wise. This is a presentation of the Region Sports Network, where the region comes to wrestle. Welcome to the Pinfall. I'm your host, Danny Bell, and tonight we have a special guest with us, and he's brought his friends. Tonight we have head coach of wrestling, Chris Sojka, and Chris Sojka has been a head wrestling coach for around 10 years now. He started off at Gavitt. Then he was over at Morton, and now he's found a home in Griffith. So we're going to welcome tonight Coach Chris Sojka. Chris, how are you?
I'm great. I'm having a great season. We're having a great year. Great wrestling all around, girls and boys, and it's been a heck of a ride so far.
That's good. You know, I'm really glad to see you guys there because you, Chris, and Josh, you guys are like the three musketeers. You guys travel together, and you guys have put together an amazing philosophy, and it's evident because of the wrestlers that you guys have produced. You know, with that kind of philosophy, what's your guys' secret to keeping that same continuity in every school?
Well, we pledge the same thing. We like to make sure that we're building a program kids want to be a part of, kids are proud of, and that translates into the parents being proud of it, the school being proud of it, the community being proud of it. And I've always pledged that that was my goal from the get-go. We also pride ourselves on getting the right kids in the room. All kids are welcome, don't get me wrong, but we pride ourselves on finding those pieces, seeing that kid in the hall or seeing that kid out, you know, throwing a football or doing something and saying, hey, come see us, you know, you got something there. And all of our coaches are so great at doing that and encouraging the kids. And of course, the three of us have been there since the outset. It's been us since day one. So it's been a great
and it's awesome to see you guys too, because you guys know exactly what each other are thinking. You're all three yelling the exact same thing in the row. So it's a perfect seamless connection. And I'm really glad that you guys have found that connection, because I've watched you take a lot of kids and create a lot of moments for them and produce, and where kids and their parents didn't know if they could. And that's one of the reasons why I brought you on here tonight, because, you know, your passion for wrestling, I don't think people realize the passion you have. You do a lot for these kids, and it's not just in the wrestling room. You're an amazing guy. You, Josh, and Chris do so much for these guys. You take kids on traveling. I've even been blessed enough to, with my own son, to go on a traveling wrestling tournament with you. We went to the Disney duels, which was an amazing trip. We had a great house. All the kids were having fun. We kicked a lot of butt there, and, you know, but these are things you do. You have a lot of passion for the sport. And, you know, where do you get a lot of that passion that you put into this?
It's from the kids. It's that simple. We tell the kids, hey, you want to do this? You guys want to go to Disney? Okay, let's put in the work. And then if the coaches believe that we're going to go down there and be successful, we're going. You want to go to 1A, 2A state. You want to go to ISWA state. You want to go to freshman, sophomore. Anything you want to do beyond the normal scope of a season, we are committed to giving our kids those opportunities. And I'll tell you what, quite honestly, from day one, Josh, Chris, and I have pledged that if we want to be a program like that, we want to emulate programs like that. And that's how we found your boy at Hobart. And we found, you know, we're kids at Maryville and things like that. We strive to be the best by looking at what is the best out there. And that's our goal. And we're working in the right direction, without a doubt.
You are. And you're, like you were just saying, you guys are a 365 wrestling coaches. You guys are all year long, 24 hours a day. You guys don't take a second off. Mm-hmm. And you're traveling, making these moments for not just the athletes, but for the parents as well. You know, what's that like to know that, you know, these kids are going to be saying and talk about these moments? Hey, you remember when Coach Sojka took us to Disney? Hey, you remember when Coach Sojka, when we did it? You remember when we won this? Like, what's it like making that for the parents as well as the kids?
That's what makes it all so special. That's what makes it come full circle. Because when the kids leave, kids can come to us and win matches and be happy, walk in the halls and everything like that. But when they go home and their parents are super excited, and the parents of other wrestlers are talking to each other about how excited they are for what the team's doing, what each other's child is doing, that is success. That is when your program is really rolling. When it goes beyond the room, beyond the mat, beyond the halls and the walls of your school, when it reaches the community. And that's what we strive for. We really do.
You know, I being that, you know, I know you, everything you're saying, I know is true. And I've watched a lot of different coaches, and I've seen so many different kinds of styles. And with you, you're one of the coaches that you do it in a different way than a lot of guys, and it's not a bad or good thing. It's an effective thing. The way you do it is you're not just creating, every team has their situation in the beginning of the year where they're going to create and set their own goals, right?
Correct.
So, and individually, kids are going to also set their own goals. Coaches are always going to look for success, not just in the now, but in the future. But a lot of coaches don't really get this asked this question. What are your goals as a coach?
As a coach,
Yes.
well, it's I say it every year, and of course it sounds corny, but at my coaches meeting, at our banquets every year, I say the same thing. I want to build a program where kids can walk around the hallways and be a part of something and be proud of something, and that in turn makes other students proud of that program that might not even be a part of it. That goes out into the community, that goes out into your whole town. And I'll tell you what, when I was in Hammond, we had 4 schools. We had Gavitt, Morton, Hammond High, and Clark. And you had your allegiances to all those schools.
Right.
And so your little neck of the woods was proud. The little Gavitt neck of the woods, we were very proud of what we were doing. And I always dreamt of one team, one town. And now that we're in Griffith, you could really feel that permeate throughout the entirety of a city. And that is really something special. That is really something to watch when parents are driving down the street and see your little wrestling Christmas tree that was put up, and they're like, oh, your tree is so cool. That's so awesome. That's what I love about it. Yeah, I love winning matches. Our kids love winning medals and trophies and placing and things. But at the end of the day, if your community can be proud and support your team and your club and what you do, that's a winning program to me.
It really is. And you've got a lot of high IQ wrestlers every single year. And it's not like they're homegrown everywhere you go. You've got a homegrown talent everywhere you go, and you bring them up to speed. And the way you do it is it's fun to watch with everyone that you bring up. You're usually downstate, and like I said, you've coached for 10 years. And you're always downstate. So you've got what it takes to get somebody down there every single time. You guys know what you're doing. But on those big stages like that, you know how it is on that floor. You are doing mental gymnastics, and it's insane out there. How do you keep those? What advice do you give to the kids when they're out there before they go into this huge stage?
I'll tell you what, we watched the video of Griffith winning the 2004, I believe, regional at Highland. And they were talking to a couple of wrestlers after that. And they're like, how do you prepare for matches? What do you do? And they're like, we just mentally go through the match. We just mentally go through it. We go through it in practice. We go through it in our mind before we get on the mat. And we preach a lot of that. We tell our kids, you have good wrestling. You have good technique. Don't think about what the other guy's going to do to you. Go and figure out what you're going to do to them. Make them fear you. Don't fear them ever. We had a good example of that last night with Landon and his match with Frazier. Great match, 2 great wrestlers. But Landon was a little bit in his head. And we said, go out there and have him fear you. Don't worry about what he's going to do. Think about what you're going to do. It ended up in a win for Landon. Big win, nice win. And a great match. But that's what we preach to our kids. Our technique is good. You put in the work. Figure out your match. Don't try and figure out theirs. Make them figure out yours. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Well, you have 4 wrestlers ranked in the top 10 in the East Chicago semi-state. You've got Remy Davis. He's currently 10th at 106. You have Jeffrey Fleming. He's 7th at 120. I work with his dad. Great guy.
Yep.
Landon Westenfeld, he's 3rd right now at 132. And you got Zach Kenny 5th at 150. Yep. You've got 4 guys there that they're high level wrestlers, and they're all in the lighter weights. What are you going to do to get some of those bigger weights in Griffith, to get some of those football players to come on to the wrestling team?
We're going to work on preaching to them, making off-season wrestling work.
Yes.
I understand that football season ends for them, and then wrestling begins right away, and that's a tight window. We're going to work really hard, hopefully with our football program, to say, okay, they went to football. We're going to make our times work so that they could come see us too. And hopefully that'll work out. That's the mindset right now. It's always a fluid thing, figuring out what's going to work, what's not. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's on our minds too. And it is a thing that we're working through. We have plenty of those guys in the room. It's not like we don't have them. It's not like we're forfeiting them. So us getting those guys in the room is going to be pertinent to what we want to accomplish next year moving forward with the upper weights.
Well, for all of your wrestlers on your team, if you trust me when I say this, Coach Sojka, if you would just go to the off-season practices and see the things that he does, and you may not see it day to day, but month by month, you will see the improvements. And if you really want to, and if you just buy into Coach Sojka, I promise you there'll be great things to happen. You're definitely the guy that can put it in there. I've watched you do it at all. Big weights and little weights. I've watched you do it. And even the middle weights, you guys are, if you have those tweeners that are just, oh my gosh, Gavitt's got another one. Great. Oh, great. Now the Griffith's going to have another one, you know? But we were talking about the 365-day wrestling. Okay. Being that you do that, and some kids, most kids are multi-sport athletes.
Right.
How do you manage the wear and tear? Because in some sports you're using certain muscles, and then in wrestling you're using every muscle. So how do you manage the wear and tear with that?
Well, that comes from careful practice planning, making sure that kids get treatment when they need it, if they need it. And your trainer, which our trainer's second to none, she's spectacular. All the trainers, you're all wonderful. We love you to death. But ours is great. She understands the role is to get them back on the mat and not keep them in the ice bath. You know, and so we work with her just as much as we work with everybody else to make sure our kids get on the mat, get the time, that they're in the room if they're injured, they're watching, they're learning, they're not just downtime, missing practices and things. And that's how we face that. We love our multi-sport athletes. Don't get me wrong. I coach middle school cross country and middle school track, and we love those guys to do everything. I believe that being in those other sports also helps you learn how to compete in a different way, train in a different way. It expands how you approach sports and preparing for those things. And I think that all comes full circle when you come back to wrestling or whatever sport is your number one.
It really does. And being that you're number one, whatever sport you have, you know, you're going to focus a lot on that. But how do you keep them also focused on their grades?
Well, I work in the building. So I see 90% of them every single day. And they know where my room is. If you came through the halls in the morning at like 7:15, you'll see 25 wrestlers in my room just hanging out, talking, helping each other with homework and things, and stuff like that. But that's really what it is. I see them. I'm in the building, and that's one thing. That's one of my primary roles. How are you doing in school? Well, I'm a teacher. That's my job. Hi, Josh Weiss. I'm a teacher. That's job one. I'm a wrestling coach. That's also job one. All right. They do go hand in hand, and we've been very successful at that. Before I turn you over to these other guys, because I want to just make a point that you said my name a lot, and that come see what Coach Sojka does a lot. Come see what those three guys on the board behind you do, because we are that team. That the three of us, we do this together. You know, Coach Wise handles so much and does so much to all the technique. He's our technique guy. That's him. Coach Pajdzik has taken the forefront. He's also a technique guy, but is in charge of our girls program now. He's running with it. He's got 5 going to regionals. So without these two, there is no this one. There just is not. And I will also say one last thing. I couldn't be prouder of what these guys and I have done in building our teams with the kids that are in our building.
Yes.
They are here. They've been here. They are ours. They don't come from places. We get move-ins. We get kids that transfer stuff, but we build with what's in our halls, and we love that. We're very, very proud of that, and always have been.
That's why when I was talking to you earlier, I brought that up, how the Three Musketeers, I called you guys. You guys literally are, your philosophy it's so seamless, and it's fun to watch you guys because you've always got a happy smile on your face. Josh is always smiling. We always know that. But you guys are happy to, even in the failures of the kids, you know, like, hey, no, you've given me an opportunity to be a coach again. And now I get to show you how to fix that. And you guys are always positive reinforcement with your kids. And that's a special thing to watch. That's why I'm really glad to have you guys on tonight. And I know you're busy and you're running around, but I got to ask you one quick question here. You're undefeated in the GSSC. Okay. Now you've got that conference coming up here.
Right.
Going into that conference, how do you keep those guys attacking conference as well as preparing for sectionals coming up?
Conference is our first big win on the way to sectionals. Winning conference will be the first big thing we do. After we accomplish that in 2 weeks. Then it's on to sectionals. They get it. They know it's a business trip. We've had our eyes on it all year. We're gonna win conference, and then we'll move on to sectionals.
I like it. I like it. Well, Coach, I am so happy to have you on the Pinfall tonight, and I know you're busy, and we'll switch out Coach Wise and Coach Pajdzik.
You got it.
Them in here, but thanks for having me. And we're glad to have you, and we'll see you here soon. And good luck at conference.
Thank you. Thanks for calling our number on this show.
No problem. All right, let's bring in the duo, the Batman and Robin here. I don't know which one's Batman and who's Robin, but we'll go with it. We got Coach Josh Wise and Coach Chris Pajdzik. Chris Pajdzik is the head coach for the girls wrestling, and Coach Wise is the mainstay, and he's the grinder in the room. He's the guy that's always sweating and wrestling with him. I feel for him a lot. But we were talking, me and Coach Chris, and we were talking about a lot of different things, but I wanted to bring it up to you guys as well. The philosophy that you guys have put together it's awesome. It's awesome to watch. It's not I found this technique on YouTube. You guys have a philosophy and have literally repeated it every school you went to, from Gavitt to Morton to Griffith. You guys complete this and every single time. And we were talking about how it's homegrown. So it's not like you're pulling some talent that some other guy worked on. You guys are putting in the work 365. And there's a lot of wear and tear on that. And you guys manage your guys as wrestlers. You guys take them everywhere across the nation. It's nothing new to you guys. You guys put in all the work. And that's one of the reasons why you guys are on the coach's spotlight tonight, because you guys do give back to the region. You guys have coached 3 different region schools and have put success in each one of those schools. So we're happy to have you guys tonight. So how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having us, Danny. I really appreciate the call, man. This is awesome. Long time coming. Like you said, we've been at different schools doing our thing, and it's kind of a testament to the work we put in. We know we have multi-sport athletes. We're not this huge school that just has these singular athletes that only run to one sport. We know we have to share, and we kind of manage that time with all those coaches and just kind of divvy our time and know when to back off and kind of give them their space for their other sport. And then when to kind of kick back on and be like, hey, it's wrestling time. And we kind of, we give them that option. We don't do that. I can't do this 365 anymore. I'm getting up there in age, but, we give them other options. It's not just us. We tell them go other places, try other things, hear it from a different perspective, a different coach. Just seeing my face every day, I know the kids are getting super tired of me already, our 3rd or 4th year in this. So it makes sense to not just grind all the time 365 anymore. It's getting tougher as the years go on.
For sure.
So yeah, that's kind of our plan. Just like you said, from Gavitt to Morton and then transitioning over to Griffith was kind of seamless. We find those athletes, we get them to kind of buy in, understand what we do, and we just give them opportunities.
Well, you guys have an awesome feeder program as well. You got a lot of future Panthers coming up as well. And when you guys were in Hammond, you had to share between the city. And that takes away from a lot of the talent that you can do. Like, say, for instance, Hobart has 1 school. Maryville has 1 school. Crown Point, well, you guys had 2. So you guys had to split. So it was kind of like a rivalry situation. 4 now. Yeah. Before then, now there's 2, of course. But what you guys had to battle between so many different schools. Now here, how's it to feel the black and gold in the feeder program here in Griffith?
So we're both Gavitt guys. We kind of gave back to it a little bit, but once we kind of saw it was about to shut down, I had already moved to Griffith previously, so I've been in the community for a little bit, and just having that singular community feel, seeing these kids around town, seeing their parents, developing connections was kind of cool. So I'm like, hey, I saw your kid. Is he going to wrestle? And kind of be on those kids a little more than Hammond, where it was a much, like you said, it's 4 schools, a much broader spectrum, just trying to chase these kids around town. I'm not chasing them 40 blocks. I'm chasing them right across the street and in my backyard. I got my neighbor and my kid behind me both wrestle. So they're easy to find.
Yeah.
You're just having that community feel.
All right. Well, you've had some success here since the girl wrestling has started, Coach Chris. And like you've had Miss Villarreal, she placed 3rd already. So you got you're already making your mark here moving forward. What do you guys have forward on the girls team? And what are you guys' team goals?
Well, first team for a goal for mine was this season was to get everybody a win against somebody to wrestle, and it happened already. So I was pretty happy about that. So everybody has gotten wins that just aren't forfeits. So beating human beings, that's my goal to start off. And now we went into the sectional, and they overperformed what I was expecting for sure. I was kind of expecting a little less, but then they opened my eyes, and I was like, wow, my team did really great, and I'm super proud of them going into the regional this weekend.
Yeah, regional's coming up, and you've got some talent in there. And do you see? Is there anybody going to be able to find a way to work towards? Because it's no guarantee to get to state, but you guys have a good middle school coming up too. So, and I've heard that you've got some loads of girls coming through there. So, if is there a future stars coming up here in the future? I can see it coming, but is there some future stars coming through Griffith here?
There's been a few I've seen on the middle school team so far. Some of them have been in the club with us to start off, so some of them got the jogs to do it.
We just got done rolling with them right now before this interview. There's some pretty decent girls. They rolled with our high school girls this summer, and they're ready to make that transition just so they understand and not be so starstruck by a girl that's might have wrestled a little more than they have. But there's some talent up and down the levels from 8th grade all the way through senior right now. We're doing pretty well with that.
That's good. With the girls too, off-season wrestling, we're gonna need them in there as well. And it's not just a guy situation. And I tell people all the time, if you go and say basketball, the men's NBA doesn't go and watch the girls' WNBA. They don't do it. And all the other sports, a lot of guys don't go watch the girls. In wrestling, all the guys go watch the girls because you're not like, she's a girl. No, this sport is tough, and we know this. Watching these girls produce, you're just like, yes, and she can do this, and you're talking her through because she knows all the moves that you were taught because you were taught the same thing. And that goes back to your guys' philosophy. You guys are going to have a lot of success with the girls coming up. I can see that coming. And with Miss Villarreal already leading the way, I don't see another reason why you guys can't do it almost every single year, the way you guys put talent out there.
Oh yeah, she was a groundbreaker, but it's kind of nice again, community feel. You get our girls going to the guys meets, you got our guys going to the girls meets. Unfortunately, a lot of the guys and girls are dating on our team, so that we can't have them wrestle together. But same thing. I'm trying to emulate basically the summer schedule of like the bigger teams I saw chase the summer. Mark Maldonado did a great job with his team. Crown Point and Strayer went and traveled, and just getting these girls to buy in and be like, hey, there's more than just, summer roll arounds. You can go to these kind of tournaments as a team together and just create that bonding experience. And again, help that transition moving forward. So we got some plans trying to move forward with summer wrestling for girls, also trying to catch some team tournaments, more team tournaments than individual stuff.
Good. There's hopefully a lot of those in the off season coming up. I've been trying to talk with our producer. We've been maybe possibly throwing around a region sports network wrestling tournament. That'd be pretty cool. Bring that to the area and get some more talent to wrestle in there. It'd be nice to see that in there. They even have like a youth or maybe even a high school one. That'd be pretty cool.
Like the old Illinois, Indiana, was it
exactly? I think we
wrestled,
that off.
Bragging rights, that's what it was.
Yes, exactly. But I was asking Coach Sojka about, every season teams are going to set their team goals and then wrestlers are going to set their individual goals. But a lot of times people don't ask the coaches, what is your goal as coaches? What is your coaching goal as a wrestling coach?
You can go ahead.
Well, with the new girls being sanctioned and everything like that, I'd like to get Griffith to win a girls sectional championship in the future, since they realigned us too. We were in the Hobart one last year when it was the regional. Now we're in the Ileana sectional, so it was a little bit of a learning curve because then we're going up against Crown Point and Maryville too. So those are we finished 6th at this last sectional out of the 14 teams, so I was pretty happy with that. Just going in there with less than a full team, we had 9 in total.
You're always shooting top 8, you want to do that. Coach, what do you think? What are your coaching goals?
During the summer, I kind of had my own goals. I set my sheet. I put the paper in my mirror, just like all the other kids do. Conference was big on on my docket. Getting a sectional champ, possibly a regional champ, and just pushing more than half of our team to semi-state feels like a giant win for our program from where we came from. We started with Connor Cervantes, who was just a really good wrestler, and we barely had to coach him up as it was. But having a half a team and losing record to now where we're at, kids challenging for a sectional title, kids challenging for a regional title, and seeing not one, but multiple kids kind of take that step and just watching them compete against good wrestlers shows that the work we put in, I feel like my goal is starting to accomplish itself. High finishes at county. We had our, well, let's hope for county. High finishes at Harvest. We did really well there. Hopefully we finish well at county, and then conference is the big one. And then we'll just keep checking them off my list on my mirror, just like all the kids do. Conference is first. That's a big one for us, just to show that we wrestled during the summer and we are that good.
You guys are, and your history of wrestling there is good. You've got Angel Escobedo, 4-time champ. You got Surtsas, Hernandez, another Escobedo. You've got Jeremiah Reitz. You know, there's a lot of.
Well, I can
just
name the whole
watching
team.
every single one of those guys. I could watch any one of their matches anytime. They're great. You got one of them right behind you on the wall there. That's
Oh, yeah.
nice to have. It, like I was telling Coach too, you guys are undefeated in conference, and that's putting a stamp right now on the boys wrestling there, because I see that the girls could probably do the same thing if they really put their mind to it. And it shouldn't be very hard.
Yeah, we kind of attempted and talked to a couple other coaches about possibly having a girls' conference yesterday. It's just
Good.
finding the time in the schedule for all of them, and hopefully numbers improve moving forward. This is the first year, so people are just starting to step their toe into this. So hopefully girls' conference comes in next year, and then maybe we can double up. Who knows?
To have a girls'
But that would be a really cool thing to see a girls' conference.
Well, I even thought about it too, with the girls. It'd be cool since the boys are on Saturday, right? And the youth tournaments are always on Sunday right afterwards. You know how it is. We don't leave. Okay. We're always on a mat.
See you reffing.
Yes. So if they could maybe push those youth tournaments to, you know, if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. But if we could have the girls tournament on Sunday, the guys on Saturday, and the girls have a sectionals, regionals, and semi-state, all same venue, I think that it's only due for the girls. They're no different than us. They're banging with us. They wear the same silly singlets, okay, spandex everywhere, and they should have 4 instead of 3. I'm not a big fan on the sectional regional state,
Yeah.
you know, but I think
Hopefully
that
numbers
it's
improve.
only going to keep improving. And if you guys are pushing the conference for the girls, I think that's amazing. Because I wanted to talk about certain things like that, because it's their turn. It's their turn. So I think that they deserve everything we have. And that's going to make that sport so much more desirable. And for people who don't know wrestling, people who think, oh, she's wrestling, she can't do that. That's too hard. Go watch her. Go watch her, and she mollywops people all over the place, you know. And you guys have a few girls that I can see, like he was talking about, coming up here. But with the girls and everything, I see so many different levels in different cities. And as big as Griffith is, I don't see any reason why your team doesn't start growing, because they're going to see the success that you guys bring. You guys are a trio, and success follows you guys. I was talking to Coach Sojka about our Disney trip. That was so fun. Okay, we were all over the place, beating people up from all different states. And it was funny. Jake went 8-2 and lost to 2 guys from Indiana. What are the odds, right? We didn't have to leave the state. We could have just got our butts kicked here, right? But those moments that we're creating for not just the wrestler, but for the parents as well. What's that like to be able to create those kind of moments for parents?
Community feel. A lot of these parents hang out with each other. I see them around town, and it feels nice. Like these parents are very involved. We kind of got some really good parents going for us right now coming up too. So it's like I said, it's gonna be an easy transition. Them seniors leave and their parents move out, and they're still around the program. The REITs still come to stuff, but stuff like that, keep having parents come around and moving up. We have some pretty good ones that are ready to hit the ground running with us coming up. I'm pretty excited.
All right. Well, you know, I was telling them about the passion you guys have, and that's the reason why I brought you guys on here. I've known you guys for a couple decades now, and you guys have been amazing to have around. You guys are always fun to be around. You guys are great coaches, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring you guys on. And it was long overdue. Should have had you on there right off the bat, but Coach Watkins is pretty cool. And that one was a really informational one, and we were excited about it. But I have, since I got him snuck back in there, it's perfect timing.
We're doing the Step Brothers.
Yes, exactly. I have to give you guys all the Colza question. The Colza question, I tell everyone, is he would ask questions of everyone that he would meet that's famous, and he'd say, "Hey, what's your favorite cereal?" So, what's your favorite cereal, guys?
Honeycomb.
All right.
Waffle Crisp.
I got home from our match last night about 9 o'clock and didn't want to make anything, and it was Cocoa Krispies for dinner, my brother.
Atta boy. If you take Cocoa Krispies and then you put them on top of the fruity ones, you get your icing on top and the milk doesn't get chocolate. And then you get your fruity on the inside. My inner fat kid comes out. You know how wrestlers are. We starve ourselves and then we're like, yeah, I don't care. I'll eat it all. Throw that in there too. That's how I found that out. But, I wanted to get you guys on here, and I'm really glad to have you guys. And I appreciate you guys. And I really wish you guys a lot of luck in the state series. And Coach Pajdzik, I wish you a lot of luck here at regionals. I know you guys are going to do a lot of great things in the future, and it's only a matter of time.
Thank you, Danny.
Thanks,
We
Danny.
appreciate
We
you,
appreciate
man.
it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us on.
everything you've done in the past for us too. It's been great.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see you here soon, guys. And in life, like on the mat, it's all about how you bounce back. I'm Danny Bell, and thanks for coming to the Pinfall.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Due after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
First home, dream home, forever home. Tech Credit Union has the right home loan for you. Their loan officers could help you purchase a home, refinance your current mortgage, or unlock your home's equity to get cash out for any purpose. Let Tech Credit Union show you why they are the better option for a home loan. Learn more at www.techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The
thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.